is science? Science affects us all, every day of the year, from the moment we wake up, all day long, and through the night. Your digital alarm clock, the weather report, the asphalt you drive on, the vehicles you ride in, your decision to bake potatoes instead of cooked fries, your cell phone, the antibiotics that treat your sore throat, the clean water that comes from your faucet, and the light that you turn off at the end of the day have all been brought to you courtesy of science. The modern world would not be modern at all without the understandings and technology enabled by science. It's almost impossible to overstate how many aspects of modern life are impacted by scientific knowledge. And in this vlog, we are going to show you the practical applications of science in our daily lives.
Magnetic force is the attraction or repulsion that arises between electrically charged particles because of their motion. It is the basic force responsible for such effects as the attraction of magnets for iron, speakers producing sound, and using a microwave oven. Microwave ovens work with the help of magnetic force. They use a device called magnetron to generate the power for cooking. A magnetron is a vacuum tube designed to cause electrons to circulate in a loop inside the tube. A magnet is placed around the tube to provide the magnetic force that causes electrons to move in a loop. As you can see, I am using a microwave oven to reheat my food. I put it in for a couple of minutes and adjust the settings. Once finished, I now have a hot food to eat.
Ever wondered how a speaker works? In order to convert an electrical signal into an audible sound, speakers contain an electromagnet, a metal coil that creates a magnet field when an electric current flows through it. This means that it is in turn attracted to and repelled from the permanent magnet, vibrating back and forth, thus producing sound. Here I am connecting my phone through Bluetooth to my speaker in order to play some music. After connected, I choose a song and press play.
In biology, a feedback mechanism is a physiological loop that brings the body either towards or away from the normal steady state. The feedback mechanism, also referred as the feedback loop, either amplifies a certain biological pathway or inhibits it. These pathways most commonly return the body to homeostasis.
There are two types of feedback loops, positive and negative. Positive feedback amplifies system output, resulting in growth or decline. Negative feedback dampers output, stabilizes the system around an equilibrium point.
An example is something that occurs to women every month. Positive feedback of estrogen on the hypothalamic pituitary axis is a late development during puberty, and is the phenomenon that allows ovulation and menarche. Increased LH secretion stimulates estrogen production from the ovary, which through positive feedback leads to the mid-cycle LH surge that causes ovulation.
Temperature regulation in humans occurs constantly. Normal human body temperature is approximately 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. When body temperature rises above this, for example when you exercise, all that activity produces heat in your body. two mechanisms kick in and the body begins to sweat, and vasodilation occurs to allow more of the blood surface area to be exposed to the cooler external environment. When you're done exercising and a sweat cools, it causes evaporative cooling, while the blood vessels cause convective cooling. Normal temperature is thus regained.
Colligative properties of solutions are properties that depend upon the concentration of solute molecules or ions, but not upon the identity of the solute. Colligative properties include vapor pressure lowering, boiling point elevation, freezing point depression, and osmotic pressure.
Liquids that contain substances have increased boiling points. This effect is called boiling point elevation, and an example of a colligative property. A property that depends on the number of solute and solvent molecules, but not the identity of a solute. Boiling point elevation does not have many uses in science, although there are a few practical uses you'll probably encounter in everyday life. One area is that boiling point elevation applies to real life. Is cooking. Many recipes call for salt to be added to water before boiling for the sole purpose of seasoning the water, which is unnecessary.
Salting the water will increase its boiling point, so the water will actually be hotter than it would otherwise be when it comes to a boil. The amount of this increase, however, is quite negligible at low salt concentrations. Adding a couple grams of salt to 10 cups of water, for example, would only yield a boiling point elevation of about 0.015 degrees Celsius, which will not affect your cooking significantly. Nonetheless, cooking is one use of boiling point elevation.
Well, this ends our vlog about the practical applications of science in our daily life. We hope that you learned something new and that you enjoyed our presentation. Goodbye and thanks for watching. Group 3, STEM 1210, signing out.
Missing someone.